what would Cine TV be without the golden pipes matching the golden jerseys? So just 5 games this weekend, all for the 2010. And there's a pet mouse in the rink. His name is Slobodan. There's literally a mouse in the rink. Chris Filiaggi just screamed and ran out the door. With his whale tail flying behind him. So we are going to get you started here. Like I said, I know we're working on the audio issues. Seems to be going in and out. Was better for a few seconds. The starting lineup for your Penguins in net. The gold-clad gladiator, Preston Clutter. On defense, 88, Brennan Kaminsky. And 77, Jake Starr. Up front, the right wing is number 20, Cruz Armstrong. The left wing, number 43, Cameron Evans. And at center, number 10, Luca Filiaggi. Early shot on Clutter, handled off of the stick, gathered in by Kaminsky. The Starr left it for Evans. Evans has it taken away. He'll battle along the wall. A centering feed off of a stick, but ends up over to Armstrong. Armstrong tried for Filiaggi, unable to connect. Here's Ofterhide with it. Penguins a bit shorthanded. We mentioned the issues for the 2011s. With illness, the Penguins 2010s have some issues as well, as you're going to see them right now rolling 4 defensemen. And we want to give our well wishes out there to Dalton and Tino, who were unable to make the trek here to Chicago. As Wu winds into the offensive zone, plays it up for Merlot. Merlot's shot deflects by Shub in front. Ends up behind the cage. Shub will pressure the breakout. The breakout avoids the stick of Evan White. It'll be picked up by Merlot and sent back in for Shub. Shub to the corner, supported well by Reel. Here's Wu. Wu unable to get control, kind of swiped at the puck. It'll end up back out at center for Starr. Starr to Reel. Reel has it knocked away, and he'll dump it in on an offside play. Look for the Penguins to keep the shifts short and furious here, with a bit of a shortened bench, especially on the back end. Chicago in black today. Black uniforms with the red shoulders and the Fury logo on the chest. Black pants, black socks with red and white stripes, and black buckets. Your Penguins, I love gold. It's the gold jerseys with the Penguin logo on the chest. The black pants with gold stripes, gold socks with black stripes, and the iconic gold Pens Elite helmets. Starzy up for Hartman, who dumps it in. Penguins will get in on the forecheck. It's Paris pressuring the puck as it's rimmed around by the Fury. Knocked out to center. A bank off the wall in behind Clutter, and the Fury look for a line change. Clutter out to play the puck, has it taken away. Centering feed. Broken up nicely by Brody Carter. It'll be to the corner for Merlot. Merlot rims it up the wall. Here's Paris. Paris's cross-ice feed finds Hartman. Hartman pressured immediately by Fort. Has it taken away. It'll be Miller to Keefe. Keefe up the left wing side, far side on your big screen. That's taken away from him by the fine wine. He'll find Evans with speed. Evans will go with Filiaggi, hitting him with a centering pass that's fired on net off the backhand of Filiaggi. A sneaky backhander there finds its way to the mitt of the Fury netminder for a stop and play. We'll have an attacking zone draw for the Penguins. Filiaggi able to get it back to Starr. Starr with a heavy shot from the point that avoids the cage. It went wide of the net, hit something, and did it bounce up into the crowd somehow? That was an odd bounce for sure off the dasher. It'll be Aker off the stick of Keefe. It'll be an offside play. We want to welcome everybody here, all of the millions upon millions of Cine TV fans across the globe, and every time we come to Chicago or get to match up with these boys from the Windy City, it's our most viewed games as we are a big hit here in the Chicago market. So thank you all for tuning in and subscribing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below. You just log into Google, hit subscribe. Into Google, hit subscribe. That's how we get it done here on Cine TV, as Aker will have an offside play at the Penguins line. Both teams look for changes. Barrick White and Sedlick out for the Fury. Like Kornak on defense. Can't see the other defenseman's nameplate from here. As Ofterhide controls in the Penguin zone. He banks it up off the boards, looking for Shub. It'll be gathered in by that defenseman. He's under immediate pressure from Shub, but out comes Evan White. It's poked away from him by Wu, but right to Sedlick, who shot up high on Clutter, is fought off by the Penguins netminder. Clutter looks awesome in these gold uniforms with the gold pads. His new bucket has a little less gold, but does have the gold cage on it. As Reel comes in on an onside play, centering one for Wu. Bounces off of his stick to the corner, carrying on Ofterhide all the way in behind the Fury net. Hartman doing a great job reading that, covering the point for the Penguins, as it's off of a stick of a Fury player into the Penguin zone for Hartman. Penguins changing a lot of people there as Ofterhide able to get back. It'll be banked up high by Paris, brought on by Carter, as the Penguins' speedy forward challenges the Fury defense. Off the wall, gathered in by Hartman. He'll swipe it back in front of the Fury zone before the Fury send it back into the Penguins. And immediate pressure swiped away from Kaminsky, but taken away right away by Brody Carter. Great shift here by 97 for the Fury, as it's Starr with a heavy shot to the blocker side. Centering feed off the backhand of Carter and cleared by Chicago. Fired down low, just wide of Clutter. A heavy shot from the left wing there, as the Penguins will regroup and clear. It's Hartman. Hartman had Paris. He'll pull up and go for a change as Hartman dumps it into the glove side. Immediate pressure here from Evans. The breakout disrupted a bit by Filiaggi, but out through center nonetheless, as it's iced by, oh, they'll say no ice. No icing. Armstrong to the puck. He sends it up off the netting. We get a stop and play in a defensive zone draw for Filiaggi. Or Lowe stops and starts. He gets it to Armstrong. Armstrong loses control, and here's a chance for the Fury as Keefe blockers one aside. Battled for behind. Penguins stuck in their own end here after a couple failed breakout attempts. Ofterhide doing a good job pinning a forward to the wall as Filiaggi scoots in, able to exit the zone to center. Campbell picks it up and pops it all the way back for Foyt in the Fury zone. 2 43s go at it, Foyt and Evans. Voigt with the breakout feed to Keefe. He'll rim it up. The wall kept at the point by Kaminsky. Good Penguin forecheck pressure here as Evans gets to it. Tries to fire it towards the net. That's blocked by Foyt. Foyt with a bank pass behind for Miller. Penguins forecheck looks a bit disjointed here as Evans gets in on it. Switch to the opposite side. Here's Wu. The breakout for Aker. Up off of the line there at the Penguin blue line will have an offside play. It's Wu to the dot in the neutral zone. That faceoff controlled by Sedlak. Snapped off to the Fury defense. Pressured by the Penguins, Shub at center. As the Fury play takeaway at the potential 3-on-2. Great back pressure by Shub. Shub brought the energy button today. That little button on the PlayStation that makes you skate faster. Shub's is stuck in the go position. I love it. His breakout attempts picked off by Barrick and sent behind the Penguins net where Merlot stops, reverses sides, finds Wu right through the center. He tries for real. That's snapped away, and back comes White in transition. His shot, glove side. Off the glove, a rebound bouncing in front will be gathered up by Ofterhide, who plays twister in the corner, spinning around and firing it to his partner, Merlot. Merlot gets Wu. Wu will get red and dump it in. Brody Carter, fresh off the bench, like a banshee into the offensive zone. Not a Shamrock at a banshee for those of you Letterkenny fans. As Chris Filiaggi runs to the bench. Looks like Luca has a skate problem. Did Chris catch the mouse? Does anybody know if Chris caught the mouse? Shot in on Clutter. Rebound out front. Swiped away by Kaminsky, brought to center by Hartman. Up for Paris, the flick off of his stick. And Potempa fires it off of Star. A rolling puck will be covered by Clutter. The mouse has vacated his spot. I believe it's running up Chris's leg right now. And we may need a defibrillator for Mr. Filiaggi down by, as he jumped about 7 feet. He's right there. There's the mouse is just shy of the scorer's box at this point in time. Maybe we call him Mo the Mouse, and he just switches sides based on which team's going to be better, as the Penguins are stuck in their end. They were able to get one, it looks like two players off, as, Filiaggi's getting a skate repaired. It's Wu out with Evans and Armstrong. Armstrong tied up along the wall. Ofterite able to wedge it out and fire it up the center. The Fury with it. Penguins short a center iceman right now, as well as two defense who couldn't make the trip. As Filiaggi is getting a tire change. Armstrong wings it off the wall for Wu. Wu loses control. Turning back into the zone, reversing one. Here's Aker right down Main Street. A backside tap attempt just misses the stick of Keefe. Beautiful passing by this Chicago team. As Merlot gets control. He tries to go cross ice for Evans. It'll come off the skate of Armstrong and it'll be dumped back in. Swiped that by Merlot, taken away by Keefe. Centering pass for Campbell. Ends up on the stick of Aker, whose shot's blocked by Merlot. Gathered in by Parrish, who finds Merlot behind the net. He tries a breakout pass to Evans. That's jumped on by Campbell. He read that like a book. A clearing attempt by Ofterhide, picked off by Aker, but pressured by Paris. And Paris is in on the forecheck. Paris reel and Shub now. As Shub gets control, snaps it up, here's Reel. Reel's 1-on-4 as he drives the zone, carries to the outside, pulls up, finds a trailer in Paris. He flings it towards the net, it's just behind Shuby. Kaminsky crashing down to keep it in. Penguins finally getting back to the Fury end, as I feel like Chicago really controlling the middle part of this first frame. You're watching Cine TV here. Remember, make sure you subscribe, as I know we're going out to all of our friends across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the state of Illinois, the land of Lincoln. As a shot sails wide of Clutter. Banked off the boards out to center. Spinning with it there, the Fury defense. A D-to-D pass as Carter pressures. Fired up to the outside, and I think that Sedlick brings it in, finding White. More chances as White goes around a defender, and Clutter there to kick away. Wu gets to it. He'll fire it up to Hartman as, again, look at the back check of this Fury team. Hartman's 1-on-4 as he gets into the zone. The Fury team is just flying out there. The Penguins having to go through 4 or 5 guys every time they enter the zone and countering attack off of it. Here come the Fury to the Penguin line. A centering pass, a one-timer kicked away by Clutter, having a game so far. To the corner, Ofterheide will battle. Off of the official, kept in. Evans deep in the zone. He'll get control, firing it up for Real. Real can't control. Evans follows on. We swipe at it. Ultimately, it pops free to Ofterheide. Ofterheide goes heavy off the boards to the Fury zone to be pressured by Real. Real in on the forecheck. A full ice pass finds an open Fury player as Kaminsky gets back to defend. The shot comes in on Clutter. Looks like potentially Filiaggi might be back. Evans to take the defensive zone draw. Won by the Fury, firing one just wide of the net. Evans will reverse towards Armstrong. Armstrong crashing into the corner. Sends it behind. Evans deep in the zone. Shot comes in by the Fury. It'll be gloved by Clutter and Hell. Real will step off. Looks like Filiaggi back on. Penguins back to their traditional lineup as Filiaggi looks at the defensive zone draw. It's won by the Fury, but taken away immediately by Kaminsky and iced. Back to the D zone we go. I believe Chris Filiaggi is now driving to the UPMC Lemieux Center to get Luca's new skate blades sharpened. Which is nice, because I don't think the coaches there have seen Chris in at least 4 minutes. As a shot sails wide of Clutter. Up to the point, possessed by Fury. It's all Fury the end of this period. Battled 4 behind, here's Ofterheide. Looks at Evans, stops instead with plenty of room. He'll go there after a second. Evans is centering pass, comes through, onside for Armstrong. He coasts into the puck. Somebody loses a net guard, I believe, as we have equipment just flying all over. A breakout pass avoids the stick of the Fury, and the Penguins are back on it. Armstrong with a pass to the Fury, and back they come the other way. Back pressure by Parrish, cross ice feed by Keefe. Centering pass comes off of a stick and gloved by Clutter. Face-off won by the Fury, shot by Aker, blocked by the shin pads of Kaminsky to the corner. Pressured by Parrish, he can't get it to Hartman. Penguins will chop at it, it will get out the center. Following on is Paris. Now Starr at his own line, indirect feed, looking for Hartman. That's read well. This Fury team is reading these passes that the Penguins are telegraphing. We need some of that coach Trevor Edwards deception. When the Penguins get space, like Ofterheide retreated on that previous shift, we had a great break up the middle with that one. He just delayed instead of just tossing it right away. Delayed with plenty of time and was able to really create that last play as The Fury are back into the Penguin zone. Keefe goes around a defender, tries high short side. It's off of Clutter. It sat at his feet. He kicked it unknowingly, and it still stays out. More shots from the Fury. That one deflects wide. Here's Ofterheide. In the corner, tied up and twisted. Harris will fling it out to center. Miller there to put it right back in the Penguin zone. Here's Keefe driving the middle, firing one off of a stick, gloved by Clutter. The Penguins are absolutely getting pounded here in the second half of this first period. Wu to take the draw in the D zone against White. Puck tied up, it pops in front. Shoveled through the crease by Sedlick. A shot from White screams wide, and the horn will rescue the Penguins as the first period comes to a close, a 0-0 tie. I'm going to step away for a second. All right, we are back live here at Kalen Ice Arena in Chicago, Illinois. We want to make sure to send out a very, very, very happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans out there around the country. Millions of you are Cine TV fans. And we want to send a special thank you for your service and time in service of this great nation. So we're starting the second period. We'll switch sides. We'll put 15 minutes on the clock. And the Penguins are going to hope for a little bit better period. Now, the good news is it's 0-0. The bad news is the Penguins have been getting absolutely owned so far in this one. As Campbell comes up through center, here's Aker. Back to Campbell. Backside feed, he's looking for Keefe for the one-timer. Broken up nicely by the Penguins defense. Here's Wu. Wu up for Evans. At the line. Ticked away from him. Wu will carry in on an onside play. He'll hit Evans, who loses control, and the Penguins, or the Fury, are back out. It's White. Ofterheide forces him wide. Evans able to deflect it. It goes up into Clutter to be grabbed and held. Filiaggi over the dot in the D zone. Face off won by the Penguins to the corner. It's Ofterheide. Up for Filiaggi. Bank pass misses Evans. It'll come out to center. Carried back in on an offside play over the line where White fires it on net. Will reset the face-off out at center. Don't forget, you can message us here in the booth. We had a very active chat earlier this morning as everybody waited for this game. A little potential game time confusion going on between the Central Time Zone and the Eastern Time Zone, including a player coming in a little late. not adjusting for that hour. The hour, as they say down the south side. Each an hour different. Sedlak up the left, pressured by Evans. They'll bang along the boards as Kaminsky comes away with it. Heavy off the wall by Filiaggi to Evans. Evans stepped up on by Fort. Penguins able to pressure it all the way back out to center ice where the Fury will control. Up the wing, Varick pops it behind Starr. He'll get control in the Penguins' end. Pressured immediately by two Fury, able to snap it off to Kaminsky. He goes up for Armstrong. It misses him, but it's out to center. Can Filiaggi get there? He can't. It'll be Foyt to center. Evans will pick it up, gaining the red line, firing it across. Penguins defense changing. Their forwards were changing, and the door is inside the zone. And so we're having offside play. It could have potentially been too many men there. As again, we have the goaltenders, it looks like, working the door. Shuby on the D side working the door. Without Coach Julius here. Short and assisted. As up comes the Fury to the Penguins. Taken away in that by Carter. Here's Hartman. Hartman dumping and chasing. Again, look at this. 4 Fury back as the Penguins gain the line and dump it in. Carter in on the pressure. Popped off the wall. It'll be just past Merlot. He'll gather at center and look for Hartman. Hartman will come in 2-on-2. Penguins gain the line, firing one just wide of the net. Up to center, off the stick of Starr, all the way into the Penguin zone where he'll gather behind Clutter. Stopping and starting there is Starr. He's got Hartman, he finds him with a cross ice feed. Here we are again, it's a potential 2-on-3 as Keefe with a great back check. Boyd able to bang Hartman into the glass. It's off of a Fury out the center for Starr. Starr up to Shub, a nice touch to Reel. Penguins with a 3-on-3 here. Shub fires it towards the middle. It comes to the stick of Reel. Barreling puck inside. It bounces around. Wu fires it off the goaltender for the Penguins' best scoring chance of this one. Baker gets it for the Fury. He's bumped at the blue line. It'll come free to Merlot. He's got it to Starr. This is a tough period with the long change. Starr's been on the ice for a long shift here as the Penguins had it in the zone for a while. Now Starr able to get off as Wu fires one down low. Followed on by Reel as this line tries to get some Penguin pressure. Up the wall for Shub. Shub back to Ofterhide. Ofterhide with a heavy shot, deflects in front. Kicked out and cleared by the Fury. Wu was waving at it, just couldn't get control, and here comes Keefe. Keefe pressured by Evans, they'll dump it in behind the net. Ofterhide tracking it down, Campbell the first one to it. Centering feed. Sedlak drives in front, Clutter fires it over, Evans will get control, good stop and start here. Banks it off the wall for Armstrong, he can't control, but it does come free to Wu. Wu gains the zone, a 3-on-2, he'll fire one and down low to be kicked to the corner. Here comes White back. Evans again on the back pressure. 2-on-2 as they gain the zone. Penguins getting a little bit better here. I think we've seen some heavy back checks by the Penguins, helping free some pucks up and give them some chances as Clutter gets the mid on top of it, stops the play. We'll have a D-zone draw with 10 minutes to play in period 2. Face-off, won by Filiaggi, back for Kaminsky, rimmed around to Starr. Starr snaps it cross ice to Armstrong. One touches it to Filiaggi. Bouncing puck eludes him. Carried back in by Evan White. Pressuring there is Armstrong. He centers one. Armstrong with a centering pass for the Fury that ends up under the glove of Clutter. Penguins will have a D zone draw. Again, won by Filiaggi, doing a great job in that face-off circle today. Over for Kaminsky. Taken away by Sedlik, sent behind the Penguins net for Starr. Starr tries for Evans. He's gapped up on immediately by Miller. Starr will come away with it, banking it off the wall. It's icing if it's far enough. Armstrong on his horse trying to track it down, but it'll get that line and it'll be an icing. .9:16 to play as we head all the way back to the Penguins zone. Harris, Hartman, and Carter with Merlot and Ofterheim. Ofty gets control, carries to the outside. Again, creates a little bit of space, able to find Hartman, and the Penguins are through center. Here's Parrish carrying to the offensive zone for the 3-on-3 attack. He'll pull up, find the trailer. This is phenomenal zone entry. As a bouncing puck is in front, covered up and kept out on the best scoring chance of the night there. A huge shot from Merlot. Rebound out front, crashing in was Hartman. But a better stop as that puck sat there and rolled towards that goal line. Will be Paris on the faceoff. Penguins win another. He'll glove it down and look in front. He sends it back to the point for Ofty. Ofty will go heavy off the boards to Carter. Carter. This Fury team is just on two guys every time as they'll tap it by. Here they come into the Penguin zone. Centering feed goes off the backhand as he was back pressured by Ofterheim. Ofterheim gets control. He's got Hartman at center if he can find him, and he does, but it's kind of like off of his stick to his feet where he got tied up. And they got Herrera sending it in for the Fury. They go to work in the Penguin zone now. As the Penguins, a good start to this second period. In a lot more good Penguins hockey. I love the effort here by the Furies. Here come the Penguins 2-on-2. It's Harris carrying it wide, looking in front. He'll stop and start behind the net as Hartman crashes in. Here's Starr from the point. Shot blocked, bouncing puck, spinning around in front is Real with it. To the wall. Looking. Wu gets on. He'll fire it across. It's in his feet. He'll get control though. Back to Kaminsky at the point. He'll wind and fire off of a skate right to Wu. Wu's shot lifted high and wide to the blocker side. Real tracks it down. Good read by 11 in goal. To get to that biscuit. Another shot. This one off of a stick as Real in on the pressure. Wu will change off with him and take control. Starr at the point. Down low for Real. Knocked down in front. Shub as Real tries to pull it off the wall. Good defensive play there by the Furies. Number 80. Chicago ends up, Campbell gets control in the corner and just snaps it right up to Aker, who goes inside out, finding Keefe, who drags it around Kaminsky there with a great twig. Puck will come to the center ice area where Real tries to clear. Shub will get it in the Pens end, over for Starr, now up for Real. He'll loft it in and the Pens will look for a change. 1, 2, all three forwards able to get changed as the Penguins deploy Filiaggi, Armstrong, and Evans. A toe drag by White at the line. Popped off of his stick. Filiaggi finds a spinning Evans. Evans looking to drive wide. Finds Armstrong in the high slot, whose shot screams just wide of the cage. Penguins had a 3-on-2. Used that center drive. Created the space in the high slot for a great scoring chance. As the Fury drive it back to the Penguin zone, it'll be Merlot off of Evans. Evans with a little hop. Can he get around the defender? Able to tie him up, at least following on Filiaggi. Can't get control. Here's White. White to Varick off of the stick of Armstrong, picked up by Sedlik. Penguins need to back check here. Merlot will end up breaking the play up. Up to the point for Evans to tap by. This time he might be able to get by. He does. He's got Filiaggi driving with him. He'll wind. He'll toe drag and snipe one. Great kick save. Faked the shot, went to the toe drag around the defender for a shot low to the glove hand side that's kicked out. Hartman will battle in the corner as the Penguins get another line change. good quick changes is much better second period here than the first as Paris gets control. He drives in front, looking for Hartman, spinning around, bouncing puck in front of the cage as they wedge at it. It's underneath the goaltender. It'll be an attacking zone draw for the Penguins. Paris, Carter, and Hartman. Hartman won't be able to line up in the net where he's been most of the day, just crashing in there, digging and fighting. As it's banked all the way down by... How is that not icing? A terrible call ends up in the Penguin zone. They'll get control and out flies Star. Onside plays, he feathers it in front. A bouncing puck finds the glove. It'll be an offensive zone draw to the right of the Fury goaltender. Penguins going left to right on your TV, phone, tablet. As it's controlled by Ofterhide at the point, they're going to call a hand pass. Faceoff will come out of the Fury zone here. I was lucky enough this week to get to travel to Chicago in the Cine TV mobile, the production truck, the Paris Chevy Tahoe with all the production equipment, satellite dishes on top. The boys were playing some fun games in the back seat of the cars we drove in. Ofterhide will get it in the Penguins zone. He's hooked. They'll play on. Wedged up the wall, brought out by Shub. Here's Real. Real with the dump in. Wu with the chase. Aker will get it for the Fury and snap it off to Keefe. Bouncing puck over the stick of Kaminsky, controlled by Starzy. That long reach, able to get control. There's that head fake, creating a ton of space. Here's Shub into the zone. Star will drive. He'll fire it for Wu. It's off that stick into Real. Real banks it off the back of Wu. It'll end up behind the net. Twisting with it is Real. Real back to Star. Star with a heavy shot. Aker blocks it. Back come the Fury. It's a 3-on-2. The Penguins needed to back check there, and they went for a change. It's a 3-on-2 for the Fury, and the puck is swiped away by Shub. Penguins forward need to read that a lot better. The turnover, and they all three vacated, at least two of the three, I think, as Evans will get control. Lofting it up for Shub, and they'll get this icing call, and we'll go back to the Penguins end. Tell there's been an emphasis placed on being quick on your changes here in this one. As Filiaggi gets it, he'll bank it off the wall. Into the skates of Evans, back to Filiaggi. Filiaggi dangles through center, loses control. It'll be gathered in by Foyt, but right there's Filiaggi. Foyt trying for Armstrong. Armstrong in front to Evans. He'll carry it around and tuck it in. And I'm not a player, I just crush a lot. Cameron Evans pulls it around the goaltender and gives the Penguins a 1-0 lead. The pressure by Filiaggi, the dish by Armstrong, and the patience to pull it around by Evans. And the Penguins strike first here in Chicago. It'll be Ofterhide for the Penguins. Carries it behind, pressured by Armstrong, rimmed around, or pressured by White, rimmed around for Armstrong. It'll be off the glove of Filiaggi to Evans. Evans pulls it around the defender, has Filiaggi, he finds him. Filiaggi interfered with. The Penguins getting no calls here in Chicago. As the Fury's White gains the zone, his wrist shot, blocker to side. Varick will pick it up and carry it to the corner. Behind for White, tries to bank it off the back of the net. It'll be picked up by Starr and bounced out for Paris. Paris with Evans, they'll crisscross, gaining the zone 2-on-2. Evans back for Paris as he looks to change. Hartman following on with speed, challenges both defenders. A bouncing puck in front, swiped away by Chicago, back up to be carried to the Penguin line. Starr forces things wide as the shot comes off of Clutter to the area behind the net. Good rebound control by the Penguins netminder as Carter gets control. He'll send it up for Paris. Paris weaving through into the offensive zone. He's got Hartman with him, trailing is Carter as he sends a shot just wide of the blocker side of the cage. Hartman with the Paul Bunyan along the boards. All push and shove as the Fury come away with it. A dump past Clutter, who wanted an icing. That one was clearly over the line, though, as Ofterhide will send it back out the center to be gathered in by the Fury. Ofterhide with the puck. Doing a nice job creating some space as he carries it for Carter. Carter with the dump in as the Penguins get a line change. It'll be Wu coming fresh off the bench. Sent up by the Fury, it's Aker. They'll shoot one in. It's off of a Fury forward. Cleared by Wu. Up for Real, taken away at center. They'll play catch D to D. Here's Foyt. Foyt firing it all the way across for Campbell. Campbell gains the zone, finds Keefe. Keefe to the backhand, pushed to the outside by Kaminsky. A centering feed comes in front, and Preston Bowie Clutter with some sweet buttery crumpets of a kick save. Kept at the line by Aker before being tipped up by Wu and into the Fury bench for a whistle, and will reset here in the neutral zone. And they're going to call a penalty on the Penguins for high sticking. So the Penguins getting up the first penalty kill as the Fury will head to the power play. As this power play brought to you by the Home Cooking Bar and Grill. Low in the corner. We'll get to Rio. Rio will go heavy off the boards just past Foyt. Wu on the forecheck pressure. As Hornak turns it up the wall, it'll be Foyt slowing things down here for the Fury and getting it to White. White weaving through the neutral zone to the corner. Takes a bump from Ofterhide, leaves it for Varick, and Varick will go back to the point. Back to the corner for Varick. Ofterhide able to get there first. Tries to bank it behind White. He'll swipe it away from him. Wu with a good stick to dislodge the puck. Real there to get control and pop it back out to center ice. Nice rink here, Canlan Rinks. You'll also notice no netting in front of us as Nick Paris able to get us set up here, lofted up high above the rink. Producer Paris, as the Penguins have killed off the first half of the power play for the Fury. 44 seconds remain on the Shuby minor for a high stick. Penguins leading 3-1 in this one. We want to make sure to send out a happy birthday wish. I'm sure he'll catch this one. If we'll do it over the weekend too. Rylan Calabrese, goaltender for the 2011, celebrating a birthday earlier this week with some cupcakes, as well as the one, the only Coach Jeff Hannon celebrating a birthday earlier this week as well. Same day as Rylan. The 2011's able to gather around and in chorus sing to their coach and goaltender live at the Lemieux Center earlier this week. It is Coach Jeff Hannon gathering the Penguins around. He's flanked by assistant Chris Schub. The man with the $1 million looks. It's a genetic trait in that family. As his son takes his seat in the sin bin for another 45 seconds. Penguins will deploy 4 penalty killers. It'll be Merlot and Ofterhide on the back with Filiaggi and Evans up front. The power play for the Fury. Hornak and Foyt up top. Campbell, Keefe, and White up front. Campbell looking for White. It'll be picked up by Ofterhide, who fires it at his coach. It avoided the mouse. That is making its way into the Penguins locker room. Wonder which kid's bag that'll end up in. As Ofterhide. If somebody's getting a pet today. Ofterhide all the way to the Fury zone, pressured by Filiaggi. 20 left on the penalty to Schub. White for Campbell, leaves it for Keefe. Keefe back to Campbell. Campbell back to the point, and the Fury will set up with 8 seconds left on the man advantage. They'll snap it around. Shot coming in from Cornack at the point. Shuby on the ice. Hartman jumps out for him. And Merlot gathers in the Penguin zone as we get to 5-on-5. Dragging around one, sending it all the way across was a sweet dish by Keefe. Eludes the sticks, ends up in the opposite corner. Bouncing puck right in front, off the clutter, swiped back in front, underneath the Penguins goaltender after the White shot. Penguins need a line change here, and they'll get it. Harder and Paris jump on. We are without color commentator Colby Armstrong, who's got work with the National Hockey League this weekend, as the Penguins snap a 7-game skid against rival Washington earlier this week. Make sure to catch Colby on the Penguins broadcasts this weekend. Cine TV's own. As Paris drives in front, shot! Comes from Brody Carter, and what do you think, Miss Fuzzy Britches? Carter finds the back of the net, and the Penguins lead by a pair here early in the third period. Now, the Penguins lost a heartbreaker earlier this season to this Fury team, so I can tell you this, they will not go away. The Penguins led 4-1 in the third period before falling by a 5-4 final. So the Penguins have to buckle down for 13 minutes and 17 seconds. They're probably going to need more. They can't change a thing about their game right now. Keep working and battling. Get on the back check. Make smart plays and try to come away with the W. And this one is it's off the skate of Hartman. It's gathered in by Campbell. He'll reset in his own zone. Aker up the wall. Has it taken away by Carter. The Penguins' most recent goal scorer. As a rolling puck avoids the stick of Campbell, his 88s come together. Campbell will get control, finding the point man. Shot wide of Clutter. Gathered in behind for Keefe. Keefe, centering feed. Comes all the way to Foyt at the point. His shot deflects in front off of Aker to the corner. Campbell will get there. As we see these three go to work, Keefe, Campbell, and Aker. Puck popped off of Keefe's stick. There's Paris to Hartman. Hartman up to the red line, trying to jump it in. Foyt will take control. Penguins get a change, though. Very important. At least most of one. As Reels in on the forecheck. Merlot. Merlot has it taken away. Keefe drives in. He's got Aker. He'll fire it short side instead. And the net dislodged as Clutter makes the save. High blocker side. Another big one for 2-9. Wu with the draw, pressured immediately at the point by Schub. Wu spinning one in front that's onto the stick of Varick for a heavy shot. Wu tried to pull it around and launch control. Varick there to take advantage, but Clutter equal to the task. Wu on the draw again. This one again controlled by the Fury. It's dumped in behind for Evan White. White pressured immediately by Wu, forces the turnover to Merlot. It's up the wall for Shub, and a bouncing puck comes out to center for Real. Real gathers it, drives in, finds Wu in the high slot. His one-timer fanned on, and Shub will track it to the corner. Immediate pressure frees it up for Real. Real looks back to Wu. Once, blocked, twice, heads to the point for Merlot's heavy shot that skips just past the stick of Shub and wide of the cage. Penguin Shub and Wu on the forecheck. As White weaves through center, it's a 2-on-1. Stepping up on the play was Merlot as his White's shot goes heavy off the iron. Big Ben strikes one for the Penguins. Here's White with it again for the Fury. Pressured by Filiaggi. He dangles around his own teammate there. Nice move to gain the zone onside. With speed to the corner where Filiaggi will pressure. He'll rim it around to Armstrong. Armstrong tries to tap it past Foyt. Taken away, but right there's Kaminsky to get control. His pass for Filiaggi just misses, and we have an offside play that'll come all the way back to the Fury blue line. .45 to play, third period action. Goals by Evans and Carter. It'll be Filiaggi to take the draw at the Fury line, controlled by Chicago. Banked off the wall, here's Starzy. D to Kaminsky. Kaminsky up for Armstrong. Armstrong taps it towards the line, controlled by the Fury. Their cross-ice pass connects. Cantor into the offensive zone for the Fury. Rimmed around behind. Kept by Foyt at the blue line. Here's Kaminsky in the corner. He'll bank it heavily for Starr. Starr, good look off there. Up for Armstrong, who one touches it towards Filiaggi, who gets in on the forecheck. He's all the way to the corner, spinning out of it, looking in front. Goes off the back of the net instead. He'll play catch with Evans. Evans in front to, is that Hartman who shot? I don't know what happened. It went off of like 7 things as it ping-pongs around in front. Filiaggi left a pass for Evans. Evans found Hartman. Hartman found 7 things on its way to the net, including the goaltender, who was able to get a cover. And so the Fury controlled period 1. The Penguins much better in period 2. And an early one here in period 3 leaves us at 2-0 Pens as we are inside of 10 to play. Carter cutting back towards the Fury line. That's taken away by Campbell. Here's Keefe at the Penguins line. Centering for Aker. Defended by Merlot. Merlot will snap it up looking for Hartman. That's picked off by Keefe. Keefe turns it over to Carter though. Here's Brody Carter into the offensive zone. He'll wind, he'll fire. That's blocked by Foyt. Or not Foyt, Miller. Pressure by Parrish. Frees it up for another shot from Carter. A bouncing puck kicked out by the goaltender. Just didn't bounce up high enough to get over the pad as Campbell tries to clear. Now Aker. Aker able to do so, finding Keefe. Keefe will weave in, delaying for Campbell. Shot, stick on puck deflection by Starr. Will take the puck all the way to the corner for Parrish, who sends it all the way across the ice for his line mate Hartman, who gains center red and gives it a shooby dump into the corner. Here's Real immediately on the forecheck, able to play takeaway and find Wu. Wu to the point for Merlot. Merlot will go back to Wu in the corner, off of a stick, and here come the Fury. It's White. He tried to hit Keefe, read well by the Penguins' Merlot, and shot back into the Fury end. They'll rim it around, Shub crashing down to try to keep it in the zone. White follows on, pressure by Wu, frees it up for Aufderheide. Aufderheide will twist it, center, and fire it back into the Fury zone. Penguins with good, smart plays and pressure. They got to remember, the back check is going to be the most important part of this game now for the Penguins. As Starr gets control, wedges it up to the Fury line, taken away from Foyt by Real. It's a 2-on-1 with Wu. He'll snap it in front. Wu with a shot and a better save. Sedlick out to center for Starr to control for the Pens. Shoots it in on an onside play. Wu twisting around at center as the Penguins get a line change. Here's Evans pressuring White. He'll force him out to the outside, keeping the stick on it. Able to turn it over to Armstrong. Armstrong will find Evans. Evans looks up, finds Filiaggi. Did he spring him? He did to an extent. Evans will follow on to get it in the corner, though. Reversing down low for Filiaggi as he rims it up the wall, trying for Armstrong. Taken away by White, and back come the Fury. But Tempa into the Penguin zone. Aufderheide defends him all the way to the corner for a centering pass that's picked off by the fine wine. Not Cabernet, it's Merlot. Back for Aufderheide. He's more of a Chardonnay guy, I believe. Filiaggi pressure on the forecheck as they play catch in the Fury zone. Good pressure by Armstrong on the back. Pressure is Canturi, drives the zone. Forced wide to the outside. He'll carry all the way behind his cage before firing it to Herrera at the point. He goes down to the corner. Wedged in front. One-timer eaten by Merlot. As the Fury possess in the Penguin zone, a pass picked off by Filiaggi. He'll wedge it up the wall off of Foyt. The Penguins are changing. Penguins get 1, 2. As Merlot disrupts, it'll be icing on the boys in gold as they complete the line change with 6:34 to play. Third period action, Canlan Ice Rink, Rink 2. This place is a ghost town right now as it's Friday morning in Chicago. I expected to see some private lessons on Rink 3, maybe a little discotheque on Rink 1, but the kids are in school. Except for our mash ward at home. As Parrish drives in, that's an offside play there as the bouncing puck by Hartman, he just beat it into the zone apparently, and we'll get a face-off outside of the Fury end. It'll be the twinkling lights of Paris to take the face-off. Swiped into the Fury zone by Hartman. Aker with it at center before being knocked away from him. Here comes Brody Carter with speed into the offensive zone. To the backhand, a loft one just over the glove hand side. Hartman able to pick it up in the corner. I think I just called him Cartman. That's awesome. That might be a new nickname. I'm not fat, I'm big boned. It'll be the Hudson Hornet, Brody Carter taking it away in the corner, supported by Parrish, fed in front for a shot from Cartman. Eric Cartman sending it just wide of the cage. He's back on the puck. And back come the Fury. Here's Aker streaming down the right. Forced to the outside by Starzy. They'll leave it for the point, and that point is that of Brady Parrish, who swipes it out the center. Hartman dislodges it back for Parrish. Driving in, firing, low short side shot. Kicked away. Blocker side. He was looking for that 6-hole, I believe, as Aufderheide will toss it in behind the Fury cage. Shuby on the forecheck. Rimmed around by the Fury. Great read by Wu to keep it in along the wall. Austin Wu forces it further over skating Keefe. Reel will get there, tying up a Fury defender. It'll come free to Wu. Wu to Merlot at the point. His cross pass for Aufderheide deflects by Varick. Varick will put it in on an offside play. Faceoff will come back out to center red here on this one as Aufderheide was close to the center ice line. Oh, they're going to bring it all the way back. They're going to say intentional, but it's going to come all the way back to the Penguins' end. And quite frankly, that's a good call. I don't like it. In fact, I dislike it. But it is the right call as Wu wins the draw. Here's Ofty. Ofty. Off the boards, bouncing. Puck will get out to center for Foyt. Foyt pressured by Schub. Puck left for Merlot to crank up for Schub. He'll tap it further for Wu. Shuby follows on. We get an offside play. Wu to take the face-off for the Penguins. Wins it back to Kaminsky. He'll wedge it up the wall for Shuby to dump it in. Foyt will get control. Carrying to the corner where he twists away from Wu. Reel follows on the forecheck as the Fury play catch behind the cage. It'll be White snapping one up for Keefe. It's off of his skate. Here's Wu. Wu drives in right-hand side, has Real, finds him. He'll wind, he'll fire, and that's gloved. Come on! Face-off will be in the offensive zone. Won by Filiaggi, controlled by Armstrong. He taps it back for Merlot. He's under immediate pressure. Canturi, he was dangerous in the Penguins in the last game that these guys played. As Aufderheide will get to the corner. All the way out to the point is Herrera, deep for Aufderheide. It's off of his stick, Sedlik with it, behind. Canturi, centering feed, misses Campbell. It'll be Evans along the wall. Evans, up for Filiaggi. Crisscrossing, he'll drive the left wing side, pulling up. Fires it behind. Evans will track it down. Evans controls, and we get a whistle. The net is off in the Fury end. 3:31 to play. Filiaggi, Armstrong, Evans, Starr, and Kaminsky. Again, we want to send our best well wishes to Dalton and Tino. As you know them, Bilella and Julius. We're out here battling for you, boys. We certainly miss you guys and hope you're feeling better very quickly. Starr up for Evans. Evans, red line and dump. Penguins get a line change as Armstrong pressures. Banked off the wall for Keefe. Bouncing puck, he'll gather it in. Driving up the outside, defended well by Parrish as Carter will get control. Hartman fresh onto the ice. Carter in front, bouncing puck. As Hartman pressures, it'll be the Fury coming away. Snapped cross ice, here's Foyt. Foyt right back to Aker. Aker drives in, Aufderheide defends as Clutter takes the shot and deposits it all the way to the wall. Good rebound control by the Penguins goaltender. Coach Chason will be thrilled with that. As Merlot rims it around. Here's Hartman swiping at it. Couldn't get control as they'll dump it back in. Here's Merlot. He'll try to reverse Aufderheide. Takes the puck, gets it out the center, taking some heat out of a hot kitchen as we wind down to 2:05 to play here in the third. Penguins leading by a pair. Aufderheide rims it around Hartman. Hartman has it taken away. Penguins have had a little bit of trouble on breakouts here early, but they've been much better in the second and third. Seem to be a bit pinned as Aufderheide makes a smart play, heavy off the wall, able to get it all the way into the Fury end. Miller sends it up. Barrick to Campbell. Campbell's centering pass. Sedlik there, couldn't control. Hartman gets it back out the center. Here's Foyt. Net empty and the Fury end. Driven in by the Fury. Empty net, 6-on-5 here. All the way to the corner. Taken away by Starr. Heavy off the boards. Bouncing puck kept in by Foyt. Good puck control there by the Fury defender. Pressure by Real. Freed it up. Here's Wu battling. Tied up along the wall. Wu reverses back to the Penguins corner for Kaminsky. Kaminsky D-to-D for Starr. Starr behind his net. Starr will go heavy off the boards. Kept in again, this time Foyt another time. Shuby battles. Couldn't get control, it's back to the corner. Kaminsky rims it around, there's Shub. Do we see the Shuby flip? We do, it's kept again by Foyt. This time it's to the stick of Campbell. Down low for White, kicked out by Clutter. Penguins cannot clear the zone right now. 40 seconds left as Foyt doing everything to keep the puck in this Penguins end. Starr tries to pin it along the boards. Wu follows on, gives a bump. Starr will get control. He's pressured from behind by Campbell. He swipes it away from Starzy. Battle along the wall. Banked up the boards for Shub. Shub will eat it into the corner. We scrum along the wall. Crashing in are some Fury players. The puck dislodged. In front it comes. Kaminsky swipes at it. The horn sounds and the Penguins have defeated the Chicago Fury in game one by a score of 2-0. And give credit to all the players on this team right here, including, we can't say enough about the goaltender Preston Clutter, who kept this team in it in the first period when the Fury had tilted the ice into the Penguins zone. Clutter kicking everything they threw at him out, including a number of great rebound control saves that he put into the corner. The Penguins able to escape this one. Evans and Carter, your goal scorers. You're gonna join us back here on Cine TV because I know you love this. Cine TV is going to bring you the game later on today, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, here from Chicago. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you this afternoon.